Durban, where eThekwini residents still say they are not 100% sure what's going to happen around the water rationing that began today. Suburbs of that municipality having their water supply curtailed for several hours every day to allow repairs to be conducted at the Durban Heights water treatment works. Though this is expected to continue for a year, that water infrastructure damaged by the massive floods in April. We're joined now by our reporter Karinda. Jagmohan. Karinda, good afternoon to you. What are residents actually expecting to happen today?
Well, good afternoon, Stephen. Residents, particularly those living in community shelters, are struggling without water. We're in Newzroom at one of the halls where more than 200 people are inside this shelter. My colleague Lungelo Zungu just showing you the ablution facilities they've been using since April when they were displaced from their homes in Newzroom, and they're essentially getting their water from these JoJo tanks that you are seeing here. Now, the water for these residents was shut off from earlier this week, but they are among the areas that will experience long hours of water rationing that will happen for a year. Remember, these residents are also waiting to be moved into proper houses. Just to tell us more about the situation they're facing is Sisekelo Ngobo. Thank you for speaking to us. Ma'am, tell me about the struggle you've been experiencing and how you feel about water rationing.
Okay. Igama lami nguSisekelo Ngcobo. Sinenkinga lana yamanzi cause kuneyingane ezincane ezidinga ukuthi zisebenzise amanzi, kuneyingane ezidinga ukuthi ziwashelwe ukudla. Sisebenzisa amanzi mangabe sipheka, mangabe siwasha siba u250 something. So amanzi okugeza, amanzi okuphuza, and then bese kuba amanzi okuwasha, and then bese kuba amanzi amabhodo. So sinenkinga ngempela yamanzi because sisebenzisa ojojo about 3. Imagine abantu about 200 and something abasebenzisa ojojo about 3.
And besides the water, what are some of the other challenges also that the residents are going through? 200 people in a very small community hall.
Ama-toilets lawo siwasebenzisayo awekho healthy for iy'ngane, and iy'ngane mangabe zindawonye ziyathelelana ngomkhuhlane, iflu, if enye ingane igula bayathelelana ngomkhuhlane, even nathi sibadala siyathelelana ngomkhuhlane laphayana ku-staffi. Sikhi space like sokuthi siphefumule, so kuyinkinga kwangempela.
And then finally, if there's someone watching who can help, what do the people here living, what do they need?
Uyabona njengamanje sinenkinga la ekitchen, siphekile ispaghetti emini for lunch. So akusekho okunye ukudla esingazuthi siyakusebenzisa for now. And then bese kuba okunye nokunye bayasinakekela, kodwa njengamanje into esishoda ngayo ukudla la ekitchen. Sibaningi sisebenzisa ukudla every day. Isekuseni we prepare 3 meals. So yeah.
Thank you so much for speaking to me. Just speaking about the issues the residents here are facing, they have 3 JoJo tanks like this that they're depending on to supply more than 250 residents who are living in this community hall. They must use this water to bathe, to wash up, to drink, and to cook food. Earlier on, Sisekelo with some of the other ladies here, they were cooking right here, and they had to collect water from the JoJo tank to cook, and it's not easy for them to even wash big pots like this. Then along with that, you must know that there are also hygiene issues because of the few facilities they have, ablution facilities and facilities to wash up. Then of course inside the hall for the over 200 residents, it's very stuffy there. We were speaking to a social development worker earlier on who told us off camera that this is also leading to psychosocial issues wherein you have a number of people living in a small community hall for a long number of days. But of course that is in relation to those living in these community shelters. But at the core of this, of course, for the next year, if they are still here, they're going to experience this water rationing in a lengthy amount of time. And of course, we heard from the eThekwini municipality that water tankers will not go to areas where water rationing is being implemented. They're only going to areas where there has been water disruptions caused by an unintended consequence. But because water rationing is a planned event, they'll not supply water tankers there, which means that residents, whether in community shelters or elsewhere, will have to ensure that they save enough water to be able to take care of themselves for the rest of the day. Now, on Wednesday, Stephen, the Umgeni Water Entity will have a media briefing where they'll explain to us what this actually means and how this will be carried out, just to clear up some concerns that residents have, and also just to understand what or how communities like the residents here living in Duzuma at Hall, how they'll be able to operate. Water, of course, is essential. It's a basic human right, and at this point, for the next year at least, residents will be curtailed in terms of their supply.
Karinda, Jagmohan, thank you very much indeed. Do appreciate that live update. Very